Welcome, welcome. Welcome to another amazing live. Yes, it is titled Charlie Kirk the Truth. I was about to say Charlie Boy or Charlie Wilson. And that wasn't going to make any sense because we're not talking about them Charlie. We're talking about Charlie Kirk, okay? Welcome, Soul Tribe. Come in and have a seat, guys. Come. Guy Fee. I'm going to talk to y'all in Wolof. Wolof. Guy Fee. Okay, let me make sure that I don't know what live I'm looking at. I don't like having technical difficulties. I just like to boom, boom, bam, bada, boom, boom, bam. Type of shit you wouldn't understand. Okay, so let me go back and make sure that I am really live. Please let me know if y'all can see this, because I feel like there's a lot going on right now. But I'm coming on here to talk about our boy Charlie Kirk. I was about to say Charlie Brown for real. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, so that is alive. That is official. Okay, now here we go. I'm going to delete this first one that was an epic fail. It did not go through. Welcome. Okay, so here we go. Let me share this real quick. So what are y'all feeling? Like, what are your thoughts and your feelings about this whole Charlie thing? Because I got some thoughts and some feelings about this whole Charlie thing. And I definitely had some feelings, which was just prompted me to come on here. Because I was like, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. And then I just really felt my guides being like, oh no, you want to talk about it. So I'm like, okay, let's talk about Charlie Kirk. So I had not heard of Charlie Kirk before. I think it was the day before he got assassinated. It was the day of or the day before. It had to be the day of because why would he have been rotating on the news? I mean, on the internet like that? I had to be the day of. And yeah, I had not heard of him before that. So I was not someone, I think that the majority of us had not really heard of him. Like, even though there is such an uproar coming from us, I feel like the majority of us had not really heard of Charlie Kirk. And now, for obvious reasons, there's a lot of hate. I made a post yesterday when I said, we did not give this much attention to the hate that we gave to what's his name? Samuel. It's not Samuel. It's not Samuel Jackson. It's what is that dude's name? What is that? This is ridiculous, y'all. The nigga name is Kevin Samuels. My God. Okay, Kevin Samuels. We did the same thing to Kevin Samuels. I don't know why black folk is pretending like we did not do, because we did that man wrong. That man's death was truly celebrated. I just remember being like, oh my God, I would be so devastated if I was his mother or his sister or someone who just really loved him. And I didn't know, my mom actually educated me today about the fact that Kevin Samuels did like dressing up, like he dressed up women, like he helped women dress, business and, cutesy etiquette like or whatever. I didn't know that that's how he started. So it's just crazy that we ended up hating that man so much for calling out underqualified women and men, because he did both. And we dragged that man. Like that right there, I should have seen a post from Umar talking about that instead of him talking about this Charlie thing, because that right there was crazy. Yeah, it definitely showed the it definitely showed the hate that we can have because we don't agree with someone's opinion. Y'all, I am not seeing my live. This is crazy. Am I live or not? I'm about to not do this live because I really didn't want to in the first place. And I'm just trying to be obedient. Okay. Why is it not coming up? Like, okay, say something to me in the comments, y'all. Because I am seeing people watching it on my phone and I cannot see it. Why is that doing that? That's so weird. I'm trying to wait. I'm literally trying to wait for people to come in here, but when I look on my phone, it does say people are in here. And then I look on my screen and it says no one is in here. And I don't want to have to repeat myself so much, so I'm trying to wait a little bit. That is so strange. Okay. So, okay. So there's this thing, right? Kirk. Charlie Kirk has us in a chokehold right now. We are really upset. I've seen some of his clips. I've seen him speaking really ignorantly about Black people and his views on violence. Okay, I'm trying not to use certain words. And this is what I want to remind you guys without sounding like a broken record. You guys, everything happens the way it's supposed to. Everything is happening the way that it is supposed to. So Charlie, being the man that he was he 31 years old? I think I seemed so young. And travel in peace, by the way, Charlie. I'm going to give him, his travel in peace for sure because he is now transitioned. And the thing is, and I say the same thing about our presidents, and I know y'all hate to hear me say this, but you guys, everybody is playing their role. There are no mistakes. There is no such thing as someone doing what they are not supposed to do. So the things that he said, the things that he shared, what he stood for, what he sat down for, what he cared about, what he didn't care about, all these things were all supposed to take place. And honestly, guys, even down to the way that he chose the way he transitioned because it's something that would bring what it has brought to us, which is a huge uproar. I mean, he could have transitioned on his deathbed. He could have went out naturally, sleeping, like a bunch of different things. But having your life taken in front of over 150,000 people on TV for over 1 million people to see later, and in the middle of the conversation he was having about the item that took his life, come on, that was on a soul level, it was perfection. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why is because it has us talking. It is stirring up the pot the way that Charlie always was doing anyway. Mind you, I didn't know this man before yesterday, so I've done my research now. And the way that he came here to stir up the pot as he has, he is he's a male Candace Owens. And they're actually really tight friends, apparently. So I just want to remind you guys that not only has Charlie come here to play his role, and he is still doing that as he is on the other side, but also when we are triggered, when we are upset, when we're angry about things, these things come up for a reason. If there's anything that you've seen Charlie saying that has triggered you, that has upset you, that is so beautiful because it's showing that there's something inside of you, whatever that thing is, that you now have an opportunity to work on. Now, I seen his videos, I seen his clips, and I was like, oh my God, man, this man is super ignorant. But you're going to have a different response to things when you truly understand what's actually happening. Because I know I get on here and I say circumstances don't matter and mistakes don't exist, and your mind creates your reality and your perspective. And for the most part, all of you guys agree. Everybody's like, yes, 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 yes. I know. Even when I write post out and get all these different shares and people are all in agreement, hundreds of comments and things, I don't think that we really get it though. You can tell we don't. You can tell that we really don't believe when we say that we understand that Earth is school and everything happens how it's supposed to and yada, yada, yada. Because if we did, we wouldn't even feed into the media. We wouldn't even be triggered by these things. Again, this is all happening like it is supposed to because it is supposed to. But there are certain ones of you who are light workers, healers, a lot of you all who normally have your mind on straight, that are the people that everyone goes to for advice. You all are the ones that are being called to in times like this to stand your ground on peace, on love, on balance, and not getting caught up in the emotions and the victimhood, and honestly, overall, just the separation, just the illusion of separation that all these things that the media creates, or I should say us, that we allow to be created through the media. So I want to remind you guys, in the whole reason of me coming on here speaking on Charlie Kirk, is just that. Everything happens how it is supposed to. He is truly playing his role. You have to know that when there is someone, especially in politics, that makes such a big uproar and stirs up emotions and was doing this when they were alive and now still doing this in their death, it's their role. It's just what they are supposed to do. So there are those of you who are not supposed to be caught up in it. I don't like to use the word supposed to, but you have a choice. You have an opportunity to not be caught up in the 3D of things, to not be caught up in the emotions of things. And like I said, when I went and looked at his videos, or when they would pop up, I'd be like, ooh, that was stupid. Ooh, that was really, like, definitely not agreeing. Now, I will say one thing that I agreed with him on. I'm gonna say it in just a minute, because I'm not even knowing if you guys are in here for real. That is so weird because my live has never done that. So I will say that there is one thing for sure. Let me make sure I record this part. There is one thing that I definitely agreed on with Charlie Wilson. And this is too, you guys, this is a part of why you guys are so triggered and so offended by the things that he said. Again, not saying that I agreed, because for all of the things that I've seen, I did not agree with him as far as what he said about Black people and, gun violence and stuff with us and everything. Not to the full extent, I didn't agree. But let me say this, though. One thing that he said that was very real, I seen a video of a boy walking up to him and saying, like, why did you say something about the civil rights movement? And Charlie was like, I didn't say that. I said that the civil rights movement was a mistake. And the boy was like, why, though? Why would you say that? If it wasn't for the civil rights movement, I wouldn't be here. Parents, I need us to really start educating ourselves so that we can educate our children with accurate information about our history. We need to know about our history. Not only was Charlie Kirk absolutely accurate and correct in the statement of saying that the civil rights movement was a mistake, but Martin Luther King, our great Martin Luther King, the only Black man that we are taught about in school, he also said the same thing. He agreed 1,000,000% with Charlie. And Charlie probably got his information from Martin Luther King, who said that he made a mistake. And he said that he is afraid that he has marched his people into a burning building. This is quoted from Martin Luther King. If you know anything about our history, or let's say if you don't know anything about Black American history, please know that MLK was over here, okay, and my bad, and Malcolm X was over here, okay, two little, okay, separate. They were not together in their beliefs and their views and their ideas of how we should be approaching life and the government, how we should be approaching the racist situations in our country, right? They had two completely different views. Malcolm X was not about marching and asking and begging and boycotting and all those different things to try and get white people to give us a seat at their table. Malcolm X was against that. And in almost every interview he had, he spoke heavily against the approach of the civil rights movement because he talked about how doing that would create a false, non-racist country. He talked heavily about how the civil rights movement would create this illusion that there wasn't racism, and it would give white people, white racist people, an opportunity to hide racism and still be full blown with their racism. That was Malcolm X's stance. Martin Luther King did not agree with that. He agreed with asking, with begging, with marching, with peaceful protesting, right? And towards the end of our guy's life, he definitely has been recorded saying that it was a mistake. He has. And we also see photos of him and Malcolm X together. So I'm not implying anything here. I'm just stating that Kirk was definitely right about that. Mr. Kirk was definitely right about the civil rights movement being a mistake. And the only reason, besides other reasons, like I said, that, you know, this stuff is meant to be, and, you know, if you're triggered, then you have to find out what it is that is triggering inside of you about someone else's ignorant opinion, right? About someone else who just needs compassion. I seen a video of Kirk saying that he feels like empathy is like a new age word to make an excuse for something. I don't even know, but come on. Empathy isn't new age. That's just ignorant. I cannot be offended. I cannot be upset. I cannot be angry. I cannot be sitting here making paragraph after paragraph, comment and post from somebody who thinks like that, from somebody who just simply is just ignorant. And ignorant by definition, ignorance means not knowing, guys. It's not actually an insult. It's just the truth. But another reason why you all are so triggered by Kirk is because you don't know your history. And more so because of what Malcolm X said, that that racism would be covered. If you all understood that what Kirk has said in the clips that are being rotated is nothing more but what racist white people in our country feel anyway. That's what they say anyway. They talk about it all the time at dinner. Your boss, your co-worker, your children's teacher, your doctor. Of course, I'm not saying everyone, but there is a huge number. Look at my thing just shaking like crazy. There is a huge number of racist Americans who agree and say the exact same things that Kirk is saying. And just because you have been living in the illusion and the delusion that Malcolm X talked about and said that we would live in, you are shocked and triggered by a white man who said things that so many of them say. That's it. That is all that is going on right now. And the truth is that it's not something for us to be like, we can be in an uproar because we're supposed to, obviously. I mean, look at what's happening. I mean, people are talking about civil war, and there's so much division taking place. But in the midst of the division, there's also togetherness. There's also people seeing the flip side of this and the other perspective due to the division. So I'm not going to knock all of this, but I do want to speak to those of you who are healers and light workers, and those of you who normally have your head on straight. If you're someone that the family comes to for the answer, if you're the one that is normally keeping the peace, if you're the one that is supposed to be speaking and you have a certain nurturing ability about you, intuitive ability about you, I want to remind you not to get caught up in the matrix. Oh my God. It's taken me back to the messages that I was getting all last year that I shared so heavily in the beginning in January, that I shared so heavily when my guides were just telling me, tell them to take breaks from social media. Take breaks, take breaks. This is reminding me of that. They talked about so much distraction taking place. And honestly, you might be tired of hearing about distraction, because I'm low-key tired of when a political or a social thing happens, and then there's always someone that comes up and said, this is distracting us from something, like, okay, yeah, I get that. You might be tired of that. But the truth is that we are being distracted. And it's not even about like being distracted from some type of alien invasion or, like it's not even, it don't even have to get that esoteric, that deep, that, conscious. We're just being distracted from the peace within ourselves. We're just being distracted from having peace, from choosing ease and peace, just from this particular subject. It has caused so much debate and so much emotion in people. Like, there's tension in the workplace now. There's tension amongst you all right now. That's crazy. Because a guy with very ignorant opinions transitioned. And apparently the guy was smart somewhere, because how did he know our history better than us? How come you guys don't know that the civil rights movement was a mistake? Let's just talk about that. Because that right there needs to be its own, like, forget Charlie Kirk. Let's have a team meeting right now on how come Black Americans do not know what a mistake the civil rights movement was. Granted, with my words, I don't mean an actual mistake. But let's get real technical and real truthful about it, because why don't we know the harms, the deep embedded harms, the danger that the civil rights movement has caused us? Look at how shocked we are. Every time a racist thing happens, we are the most shocked. How the hell are we so shocked at something that has not stopped? Why are we so shocked? How come you guys are so shocked every time? I be shocked that y'all are shocked. I be shocked of the shock of the shock. Okay? I'm always just so amazed at the shock that we have when something really racist goes on. And people will be like, oh my God, it's 2020, so-and-so, it's 2020. And we're still, yeah, it hasn't changed, because the effects of the civil rights movement they still reign supreme. We're still sending our kids to a school that is created by a government and a large group of people in power who do not believe that you are even at half of the education of the world, who do not believe that you're educated enough to fly planes first. Like, look at all the first time things that we have. Every single month I see something. Oh, it's a Black woman to win this. A Black woman is the first time to do this. A Black man the first time to do that. And we're just like, oh my God, things are really changing. It's the first time. That's crazy. So this category has been out for 80 years, 60 years, and this is the first time that a Black person has been crowned or that has made it. Like, that's not an accomplishment. That's Delulu right there. And I love you, but that's Delulu, okay? And it's only taking place because we don't understand the dangers of the civil rights movement. If we had never had the civil rights movement, which obviously we were supposed to, but if we hadn't, then there wouldn't be as many casualties. I promise you that. If we had not experienced and went through the civil rights movement that MLK took us through, there would not be as many racist casualties. I'm going to tell you why. Stick with me. The reason why is because before the civil rights movement, the way that Black people raised their children and went about their families and their lives was a lot more cautious. We educated our children. Now, you have to go back in history, okay? Debate me all you want, baby, but if you do not research your history, you are not equipped to debate me, okay? I want someone to oppose me that actually studies their history for real. Because if you go back in history, it is very clear the difference between the Black family today and before. And it's not because it wasn't a man, okay? There were single moms back then too. It was because it was not a secret. Racism was not a secret. It was very prudent. It was very open. It was very honest. It was very much whites only. It was not what it is today in secret. So therefore, it was more on our minds, and we were able to raise our children with that consciousness, like with that awareness that this is a thing. This is who you're dealing with in the workplace. We didn't have to figure it out ourselves. I had to go to work in my mid 20s, I guess early 20s, and realize that I can still be bullied as an adult by white women. I can still, if I'm a slim, cute black girl in the workplace, in the office, I didn't know until I was an adult that I can be bullied as an adult. And if the civil rights movement had not taken place, which again, it was supposed to, but I'm just saying, without it, we would be a lot more aware, and we would be raising our children in that awareness like we used to. So a lot of you all are shocked about the things. I mean, honestly, again, this is coming from someone that actually studies our history, and I teach my kids. So I'm looking at the videos, I'm looking at the clips of things that Charlie said, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh that was bad, but it's not offending me because I'm not shocked. I'm like, okay, this is how they feel. What is the new news? Like, what do you think that racist white people think about you? And what do you think that they think about black crime and black on black crime and what we're doing in our communities? I think, did he say something about having babies and something like, what do you think that they think? Like, why are you offended so much off of something that your coworker thinks about you or your boss? It's because we just been a little delulu. We just been a little delulu, y'all. And you know that there's a lot of cognitive dissonance happening when we are being unalived on camera all the time, every single year, multiple times a year. If you notice that just magically did not occur during the pandemic, but all the rest of the years that's happening, and we're still shocked every time. It's still like we're literally having the experience that Einstein called insanity, when the same thing is happening over and over and over again, and we're expecting something different. So we go through the same motions that we've been going through since Mike Brown, since Trayvon. Let me make sure I have. Bruh, shouting. Don't do that again. Why are you doing that to me? Okay. So we're having the same reaction. Record anymore. Why do you do that? Why do you do that, camera? My beautiful Osmo. I love you. Don't do me like that. Okay, you guys, leave a comment. Okay, I'm gonna just end the live right now if no one is watching. I mean, I know that you guys are watching because I can see you, but it doesn't. It says that you're not here though. So I'm so confused. And normally someone would have already came in here and said something. So I'm like, is you or is you ain't? I want to push record again. Yes, I'm in my bed this time. Normally I'm doing my thing out there. So I do have to like rig up my camera situation. Okay, let me try to record again. See, and then the people just jumped up so much. It's like y'all probably are commenting and I am not even seeing it. That's crazy. Okay, let me try this one more time. Don't you cut out. Okay. I don't even know what I was saying. Um, I was saying something about doing the same thing over and over again, though. So, yeah, that is what is taking place, you all. And if we can just get to the point of remembering what you guys already know, I have never, not ever, 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 ever not shared anything that you guys don't already know. You just forgot. I swear to you, I promise you that you just forgot. You already know this, though. You already know that there's no mistakes here. You know that everything happens how it's supposed to. You know that everybody plays their role. You know that. Everyone plays their role. So if Charlie Kirk is triggering you, you want to ask yourself why. What is it inside of me where someone's very strong opinion about A and B and C is triggering me so much? And there's nothing wrong. Like, it doesn't mean like you're not, there's no wrong. There's no such thing as that. So it's just a matter of growth. Allow for this experience to do what it's supposed to do, because it's definitely going to bring a lot of togetherness, even though there's some dividing, but it's the truth that is coming out. That's what is needed, is the truth. People are having conversations that they were not even having 2 days ago. You know what else is weird though, y'all? Check this out, because I seen a book that was published about his unaliveness, like the way that it happened. I'm being careful with my words so I don't get, what you call it. But his unaliveness, it started on the 10th. I mean, it happened on the 10th, which was yesterday. And there's a book published on the 9th about that happening. This is not a conspiracy. Let me get the book title so y'all can go down the rabbit hole. Of course, I get right on here in this post about him. Let me get on here and tell y'all this book title. It's called the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Damn it. Hold on. You can just type that in. It's by Anastasia J. Casey. And literally you can see that this book was published. I don't know how to pause my thing. Hold on. You can see that this book was published in on the 9th, the day before. Let's see. You can literally see that. So that's pretty cool. I haven't went on what you call it, but I've read the comments and stuff. So I don't know. Interesting. But yeah, you guys just see this for what it really is. It's such a template for our awakening. If you haven't noticed already, we're going through an awakening right now. And everything that is triggering people and having us in our feelings and causing division and all this stuff, it's not actually doing that at all. It's doing the complete opposite. It just looks like it is. But it is just important for you to not be caught up in the matrix, in the chaos. It's important for you to decide how you want to feel. Most definitely. How you want to feel. And if you want to feel empowered through this situation, listening along. Thank you. Thank you for the comment. Thank you. My God. Y'all know I'm gonna go off, because y'all be wanting me to get on here and go la la la, watch me dance. Like, y'all want me to do a little circus act. I already told y'all, like, I will get off the live. If I see people just watching me, I swear to y'all, I have came on here and I have seen 10, 11, 12, 13 people just watching me and not saying nothing. Click, bam, I'm gonna hang up on you. I was dead ass about to just click because I'm not here to entertain you. I am a real person. I am here to communicate and and be a person. Okay. I am here as a human and we are live. When you are live, let me give y'all social media etiquette. When you're live, the person is alive. So do live shit, okay? You're not watching an old video. So when a person is talking to you, talk back. I love y'all, but y'all be needing me to tell y'all this. I have not ever went on somebody live and just sit there unless they already got like 50 comments flowing or something. Big brains, educated chats. Exactly. Absolutely. That's what you're going to get over here. So yes, you guys, just try to stay grounded. I know that I sound like a broken record. I've said this so many times. Last year I kept telling y'all in 2025, get ready to be more disciplined so you can take your social media breaks the way that you are supposed to, the way that most of you have never have. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I cannot believe how long I've been talking about this. I swear to you on my kids. I was talking about taking social media breaks back in 2011, you guys. I was on Facebook. I remember literally creating a separate group like off of Facebook. It was kind of like a Discord thing. I forgot what it was called though. I think it was called Group Me. If y'all remember Group Me, it's so old, over 10 years ago. And I created this group because my guides were telling me that social media was going to take over the people's minds, that all of our social ways and cues and the way that we communicate and the way that we think was going to be altered by social media. You guys, this was over 12 years ago. And I told y'all when I went to see the shaman here in Senegal, the shaman told me that I always see things 10 years ahead and that people think I'm just crazy and I'm just extra until it starts happening. It is blowing my freaking mind. I am not even kidding y'all. This is the complete honest to God truth. It is blowing my mind to see what social media is doing to the world and how back in 2011 it wasn't even doing that. Like what the hell was I on? I was acting like we was in these times. That was like before Candy Crush days, before all the parents got obsessed with Candy Crush. Why was I so like going in about social media taking over our lives and our mind and changing our moods? And do you guys understand how much social media over the last 10 years has altered the way that we do like practically everything? There's books on this. There's science and social experiments on this. I am totally, I can't even explain how mind boggled I am that I was so on top of that at a time that it wasn't even happening. And I did have people, like I remember having like a good like 10, 11 people that had took the break with me. But y'all, I used to literally call, like I used to be like, let's challenge ourselves to get off of social media for a month. And I would basically like entertain people in this group and give them like things for them to focus on. We talk about topics and certain things for them to focus on outside of Facebook. This was before Instagram. Instagram didn't start popping until like 2013. So this was like 3 years before Instagram even came out, you guys. I am totally like my gaskets are flabbered. Okay. I cannot believe that I was so adamant and so passionate about something that hadn't even happened yet. So when the shaman here told me that I see things and I share them with the world and people are not getting it because the thing isn't happening until years later, I literally just broke down crying, y'all. Because I was like, damn, you just really saved my life. Like, you just really spoke my whole life. I am so amazed. Hey, hey. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I know what you meant. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all can barely read these comments because I'm so far. You are doing right, taking your family out of all of this negative in the US. Yeah. My heart really goes out to y'all, like for real. I be really like, y'all don't even know. I be sending y'all like energy and acceptance and love and strength because I'm not even going to act like, I mean, everybody is different. I know how I was feeling. I understand the messages that my guys were giving me about the importance of me leaving. And they were very adamant about me leaving before the end of 2020. And again, I'm different from, everybody's different. I just know myself. And I know that there is no way, not in the last few years, that I would have been able to make it in America. And I'm saying this, you guys, because like if you watch my interview with SNCU podcast, I just uploaded. I just shared it today. I'm super sensitive to energy. I feel energy very strongly. I am extremely sensitive to the way people feel, even animals. I can feel them literally. I got crazy stories about me feeling people and things. You can ask anybody that I'm connected to. If you're considered a friend of mine, even an ex, like I can feel them. I can literally feel when they are going through things. I will call them and text people out the blue and be like, it's okay. And they're like, what? How did you know? I mean, now I think people are pretty used to this now. So they'd be like, you felt me? They like. But when I say I feel things, I feel. And there's just no way. I think my guys knew that mentally I was not going to be able to take it. I wasn't even taking it when I was out there. I was not even taking it well when I was out there because I could feel it so strongly, especially living in certain cities, like being in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's so triggering. Like the energy is so strong. The hate and the docileness, the comfortableness, the disconnection. I mean, there's so many levels, and I could feel our ancestors hanging on the trees. Like there was just so many things that I can feel like the the comfortability of things. Like everybody just being so comfortable with the stagnation of our lives, like the routine of everything. And I'm so happy to see how many people are finally coming out of that. If you guys don't know, like I left the rat race 13 years ago. So 13 years ago, I used to work, you guys. I know y'all not used to me being in a corporate setting or working, but baby, I used to be like putting on the heels every day, wearing the pencil skirt. I had my own little desk and cubicle and all that. Like I used to live at my job, making 16, hitting 16 hours a day, all of that. And yeah, I was living that life and I left that and really like felt like I wasn't knowing my kids well enough. It's one of the reasons why I decided to homeschool. But I just really, really understood the assignment. Like, what the hell is this? I'm supposed to do this till I'm 60? Huh? Like, are you crazy? I'm not doing that. So I'm so grateful that I have been able to get out of these different levels of the system, because first it was like getting out of that system and then later getting out of the whole, country kind of thing. Um but I'm grateful because I'm able to be an example to you all, because I can have my mind and my sanity, which I was losing while I was there. And to be able to be example to you, to be an example to you all that you can do it. If is what you want to do. Only if is what you want to do, because I don't care if you do or you don't. It's up to you. I'm not trying to pressure you at all. But if you do feel compelled to leave your job or to leave the country, I am here as an example, a mother who did it on my own, okay, with less than $200. Now that was not the plan. I did not have a plan to show up with less than $200, but it was supposed to go that way so that I can show you all that it's not what you think it is. It's not about the money. I see people come here with hundreds of thousands of dollars and they still end up having to leave. They don't end up making here. It's not about the money. That was one of the biggest purposes of my journey here, and the way that my journey was to show you all it's not about the money. It's about your hearts. I know that sounds so corny. I even kind of said it in a corny way, but but I'm telling y'all, it's about your heart, because your heart is its own frequency. It's its own energy. It is about your frequency. What are you doing? How do you wake up every day? How do you go to sleep? What do you really feel about your life? Do you even believe in yourself? Do you even believe that you can make something big out of nothing? Do you even believe that you can live a life like a person with a bunch of wealthy money, like a with a bunch of abundance, without having all the proof? Do you believe that you can do that? That is what I am here to do, is to be that example, that very human, very natural, very not your guru, know it all thing that people try to put me in. I am so big on not being put in those categories. I don't have a category. People are always asking me, like, what's your belief? Like, are you spiritual? Are you? No, my belief is brain and heart coherence. My belief is humanity. That is my belief system. Okay. I don't even want to say love, like people say that, like, I don't belong. I don't belong to anything, and I belong to everything. And I am here to be that example for all of you, which is why I show up in that way. Thank you. Most people. Yeah, this comment is really real. You are really living what most people are just existing. I want to hone in on this for a second, because I want to be clear that your mind has to reach the destination before your reality does. So I didn't start living when I got here. I started living when I was over there, because you have to do that now. One of the things that I love about my coaching experience, if you don't know, I've been coaching people for well over 13, 14 years. I started off with my own practice out of my house. I used to call it breaking the cycle. And one of the things that I love is when people try to lie, because humans, we're not our worst critics. We are our best liars. We are always lying to ourselves. So I love when I would ask a person something along the lines of, like, where do you see yourself? Or maybe they're just sharing with me their manifestations and what they're going to be doing and what they believe and they just know and things like that. And I just love this conversation like this, because we lie to ourselves so much that we convince ourselves that we know that we are on the path of abundance and greatness and we're going to have this and have that. But then the thing that proves if you're telling the truth or not, this is what's so cool about reality. This is what's so cool about being a spiritual being having a human experience, is that your reality doesn't lie. Your existence cannot lie. You can lie, but your existence cannot lie. The way that you really feel, it cannot lie. So, what you're doing in your day to day life and how you're living, or going back to this comment, if you're actually living at all, if you're truly living, it is going to show up. It's going to show up. So, it's not about necessarily like, who you want to be. It's about what you are doing, like what you are being right now. So before I came here to Senegal, you guys probably know that I was already living a life of freedom. Like I said, I had left my job, but I was already, like, homeschooling my kids, and we were already on the road, living in different places like we always wanted to. Um, what else was I doing? Just doing what the hell I wanted to. That's what I was doing. I was already living because I was just doing what I wanted to. And my desire to break the cycle, like break the system in within my own life, within my own like family, and me actually doing it, which is living, that is what helped me to get to the state of being able to leave the country. And then even with having nothing, you guys, I don't think y'all understand me when I say that I came here with $167 in my account. I had a 2-year-old on my back, 4 children. I did not know where we were going to stay at that night, and it still ended up happening. Not only did I get a place for us to stay and didn't even try, but it was an amazing, beautiful place. Like, we stayed in a very luxury Airbnb here for a whole month. And every single few days, I did not know how I was going to pay it. I did not know. And it still worked out. I came here with 167, and then literally within 2 months, I had thousands of dollars. And I didn't have to scam nobody to do any of that. All I had to do was get the people who stole the money from me. And I didn't even do that on purpose. That's what's so funny. The money that the couple stole from me here, I didn't even try to get the money back. I talked to the couple when I got here and I told them, keep the money. I don't have time for the drama. Like, I'm here. I have to focus on me being here. I dead ass did not want the money back. That's what's so hilarious. And I ended up going to court on an accident with no lawyer, not speaking, only the language that I spoke is English, obviously, and winning my money back in 2 days. How does that happen? How does that even happen, you guys? It's your vibration. It is not, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. I don't even know how else I can say it. It is not the money. Everybody is so ready. I mean, so like trying to manifest and praying on winning the lottery and, you know, if only I can have this much, if only. You guys don't even realize that the majority of you all who are always looking for the money and like, where's the money? Where's my money at? You know, I know that it's here. I just haven't grabbed it yet. All these little things that we say, you don't even know that if you got your hands on 50,000 to 100,000 to more than that dollars, you would be broke in the same year. Like, what makes you an exception from the millions, or I'm going to say at least thousands of people that have won the lottery, that have come up on that amount of money and went bankrupt in the same year? It happens all the time. What makes you an exception? Especially if you know that you don't manage money well. What makes you an exception? The majority of you all would not even be able to invest in the money and turn it over and do what you think that you would that you think that you would actually do with it. The majority of us, maybe not every single one of you all, but the majority of you all wouldn't even be able to do that. The only reason why you're saying that is because you are not willing to allow for your mind to reach the destination before your reality does. Once your mind is truly believing, like once you are truly believing that your mind creates your reality and that everything is based on your perception, because you don't really believe it. Once you actually really believe it, you're not even going to be asking for to win the lottery. That's such a like that's such a baby thing. Like that's such an amateur want. You're not even going to be asking to just get money real quick, like get these little quick money schemes. You're not going to want that. You're going to be going towards your passions and the things that ignite you and light you up. You're going to be going more towards your purpose. That's what you're going to be headed for. That's what you're going to be wanting and feeling, and not even wanting. You're just going to be in that. You're just going to start to be in that. But your mind has to reach the destination before your reality does. It's the only way. It is the only way. Anyone else that gets there faster than that, without that, I mean, is probably going to file for bankruptcy. And you can do your own research on that. I actually really do study like wealth. I can do a whole video on the illusion of generational wealth, how much we are always talking about generational wealth, and we really think that generational wealth is about getting money and passing it down to your children without knowing the truth of how the majority of children who have money passed down to them actually end up losing the money. They actually end up filing for bankruptcy and not transferring the money over. Generational wealth is wealth that is passed on through generations. It's not you getting rich and just giving your kids some money, because then your grandkids are going to be broke. And this is factual. You have to read about these things to actually know. Generational wealth is not what people think. And it doesn't come from two parents working in a home either. Anytime that you ever see in history, and I do mean any time that you ever see in history, a family that has successfully passed on their money from generations, it was never a family where both people were working in the home. There was always a matriarch at home, and there was always someone to bring the money in. So there is just a lot of confusion that we have about money, about wealth, about what money even is. We could do a whole segment on that, because it is not this tangible thing that we think it is. Money is just a tool of abundance. It's just another form of abundance. And it comes through in frequency. It really comes through as a frequency. It's liquid. It's not actually this tangible thing. But I can go on and on, y'all. So Let me stop. Let me know if y'all have any questions. We're at 55. 55 has been my number. Oh my God. Change, 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 change. But yeah, I wanted to um remind you all to stay grounded and to keep your eyes on the prize, you guys. Keep your eyes on the prize. I am begging you guys to take a break from social media. Like at this point, I'm begging you. I feel like I'm begging people because my guides, y'all, they tell me, like, I remember a live I did in like February or March. I fought so hard not to do that live. I really fought with my guides. I was like, come on, y'all. I'm so tired of saying this. Please don't make me talk about this. But I could feel them so strongly, so loudly. And they were telling me that it doesn't matter if you guys listen or not. The importance of you all taking breaks from social media is going to come out either way. We're just going to be able to look back and be like, oh, yeah, Della did say that. Like the shaman said that everyone ends up saying later on after calling me crazy for 5 and 10 years. But please take a break from social media because it really is doing damage to us. It really is shifting our perception. It really is distracting us. I always take a break from social media, you guys. And it's getting harder. Like the more and more that my business grows, it gets harder. I feel like these last few months it's been really hard. I did take a little bit of a break though. But I'm like, damn, this is getting harder to do. How do I do this when most of my clients are coming from social media? This is a good question. I like this question. Are you happy? I am. I am truly happy, and when I think about me being happy, I think about peace more than happiness even. I think about me having inner peace, and that is most definitely what I have, more than ever. I would say more than ever in my life, and it's really interesting. It's really crazy for me to say that, being that my sister passed away only 5 or 6 months ago. I'm kind of shocked that I have even found this level of peace again, like after such a tragic, dark experience. It definitely was a dark night of the soul kind of thing. But damn, like it's crazy how much peace my sister's death, like that is so crazy. Like it blows my mind to think about how much chaos and like confusion and like literally memory loss, the trauma of her transition, that how much it's caused me. And then on the other side of that, how much confirmation I've gotten and how much inner peace I've gotten, how much resonance I've gotten with what I'm actually doing. I never even knew myself like this. And it's crazy that it took for my sister to transition. I mean, she's come through to me like no one else has though. Like I can't even deny the level that I'm on, like the level of self-acceptance and just openness. I mean, it's why I'm showing up more than ever on social media right now. If you guys haven't noticed, like I'm uploading like crazy, and it's coming from such a place of really really remembering what I am, like who I really am. And my sister has so much to do with that, which is hella weird for me to say because it was very tragic to experience that. But like I said, she's come through to me. No one has confirmed to me more than she has since she passed away, like what I'm doing and what I'm supposed to do and where I stand as far as my purpose, um, all those things. And I'm in such a place of, I think happiness, I think happiness is whenever you don't want anything, like when you're not desiring anything, you're not feeling in lack of anything, when you are truly accepting. I think that is happiness and peace. And I kind of feel like they're interchangeable, like they're synonyms to each other for me. And yeah, I think that these last 4 months, I would say 2 months out of her passing, because those 2 months I was not feeling at peace or happiness at all. So maybe these last 3 months, I have I have found peace and happiness that I thought I already had it before, and it's like another level. Thank you so much. I really truly believe this. This is definitely facts, you guys. You know, I do my MDR sessions, my multi-dimensional regression, and at the end of the regression, I take people to connect with their soul team, and if they have any deceased loved ones, you know, they're able to speak to them. And people always call it a grieving cheat code. Like that's like a known thing now. It's like the MDR is a cheat code to grieving. And I never had experience, like I never needed to speak to a deceased loved one through these sessions. Now my sister did speak to me outside of the session. She actually came to me a few days after she passed away in a really amazing way, with confirmation that just, I mean, I just can't even take how loud she was about that. But in the sessions though, me being able to speak to her directly and her to confirm with me all these things and answer questions and things like that, it really has been a cheat code. I really understand why people call it that, because I mean, I work for the dead. Like I do have a certain understanding for the other side already, but that doesn't exempt you from the pain. You know, you can know all of what you know, but I'm still a human, so I'm still supposed to experience, you know, the initiation that grieving, you know, allows us, I guess, if we allow it. So it really has been an amazing experience. You are so welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope that you guys appreciated this live. Like I appreciated you guys for tuning in. If you guys are interested in any of my services, any of my channel readings, my intuitive coaching, I have a mentorship that lasts for a month that is incredible. No one ever comes to me and is the same whenever they are done with me. um, or if you're interested in my MDR sessions, you can go to my website, earthisschool.com. You can also email me at dayla@earthisschool.com. And yes, hit the thumbs up if you like this video. You can share it as well. Let's spread the love surrounded Charlie and just try to get out of this, out of the 3D, the depths. Remember, you guys, this is a feeling place. Earth is the most feeling planet, okay? You came here to feel. On the other planets, they do not feel how we feel. We literally are the embedment, okay? The effervescence of us is feeling. It's the language that none of us have to learn. It is so natural, okay? A baby can talk to you through feelings. Remember, guys, that this is a feeling place. It's supposed to feel dense. So it's about you deciding how you want to feel. Your feelings that's how you channel. Like when we say we have a gut feeling, I had a feeling, that is your knowing. That is consciousness. So let's try not to feel what we don't want to feel. Please stop clicking on things that you don't like. Like, I can't believe that, like, when I see stuff on Facebook and it's like talking about, you know, all this crazy drama or someone unaliving their child, why would I click on that? Why would I ever just start reading that? Why? I be genuinely confused. People be like, oh, look at this man. He strangled this man on a video. Look at this girl. And then you look at the thing, it's like 3,000 views, 200 shares. And y'all be wondering what's wrong with you, why you're so impatient and irritable, and why you don't want to meditate, and why you just snapping at your kids. And I like, how could you ignore energy? How could you ignore energy like that? Whatever you are putting inside of you, whatever you are entertaining and putting your eyes on and consuming, it's becoming you. That's what you are here. You're everything. You are everything. You are literally everything. We are all one thing. We are just in this illusion that we are in separate bodies and avatars. But the only thing that exists here is God, you guys. That's the only thing that exists. Nothing else actually exists. I know I look like I have this face. The face is facing, okay? The body be bodying. I know that. But it's fake. It's temporary. It's so temporary. It's going to dissipate. It's going to literally, my body is going to die and go into the ground, and fungi and a bunch of other larvae and bugs and things are going to eat it up and spit it out and make it into something else. This is proof that this is a simulation. This is proof that this is not real. There is nothing that you can actually feel. Any freaking thing that I put in my hands, myself, my hair, everything, it is going to disappear. So you know it's not real. So you know it's a made up thing. There is only one thing that exists, and that is God. That's the only thing of existence. It cannot not exist. You cannot not exist. You're just in this avatar having this very temporary experience. And as soon as you're done with this is why we keep coming back here too, because it feels like if you're a woman watching this, then you know what pregnancy feels like, right? I mean, well, if you're a woman that had kids, let me say that. Not just if you're a woman, okay? But if you're a woman that had children, then you know that pregnancy in the moment, it feels so long. It's like 9 months, feels like 19 months. Oh my God, will it ever end? And then as soon as you're done, it's like, oh, well, that wasn't that bad. All that trauma I went through and all of the everything that I experienced and all the blood clots and all the diabetes I had and all the trauma that, and all the things that we go through, a lot of us during our pregnancies, all of a sudden a year and 2 or 3 years later, it doesn't feel all that bad. We just do it again. It doesn't even feel like, it's like, oh my God, we actually desire to be pregnant again, as if that thing was not even so deep and serious. That is exactly what happens every time we leave Earth. I just gave you like the best example that you could ever get to why you keep coming back here. Besides, of course, that you have to learn and grow and you're coming here to be in a different body and a different, besides all that, you guys already see me talk about that. But that's what's happening here. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the matrix, okay? All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys once again. Until next time, thank you for rolling with your sister. Peace out.